The caveat here, this is not a show about Brexit.
It's not a show about Brexit. It's about how we trade and the logistics and how it all works. Loads of surprising facts. But of course, things are going to be potentially turned upside down at the end of the month if we were to leave without a deal. So clearly, people watching this, they'll be thinking, well, what happens next?
Yeah, because it is watching this show. First one was last night. We are with the fourth largest economy in the world. And I was looking, because we were just saying as you sat down, I love a good fact. Sixth largest trading nation globally. In 24 hours, £2.4 billion worth of goods crossed Britain's borders. 4,800 cars, 6,500 engines are exported worldwide. Majority of fish caught in the UK is exported. Most of the fish eaten in the UK is imported.
That's mad, isn't it?
Staggering £18 million worth of fresh fruit and veg is imported each day. This is a well-oiled machine, isn't it?
And we're importing and exporting to over 100 countries. But if you look at the exports, 2/3, 70%, most of them for fish, for cars, for fruit and veg, they're going to the European Union. So clearly, finding ways to keep those trading relationships smooth and fast is important. But the programme's also about the amazing innovative things we do. We sell loads of crabs to China. The Chinese love eating crabs from Britain. If you buy a paella in Spain, the chances are the prawns have come from Britain. We actually sell potatoes to Ireland.
Really? This was on last night's episode?
Yeah, and the reason is because our chips from Lincolnshire, our potatoes from Lincolnshire are brilliant for making chips. The Irish love chips. Our potatoes are better, whereas we like mash as well. So we import potatoes from Ireland for mash, but we export spuds to Ireland to make into chips.
And other things you may not realise is that the majority of long-haul flights you will take, you will be sitting on top of a load of fish.
I was amazed when I found this out. I had no idea. Heathrow is our biggest port by value, bigger than any of the seaports. Its biggest commodity each day is fish, 90% plus in passenger planes. So if you fly to New York, under you, in the plane, will be your bags, and then thousands of kilos of particularly Scottish salmon or Norwegian salmon, but also could be crabs, could be langoustine. If you fly to New York and then go into the city for dinner, the chances are, if you order Scottish salmon, it will have come on the plane with you that morning, having come out of the lot the night before and driven down. It's an amazing thing, and it's packed in under ice so tight.
And what was the general thought then? Because with this show, we do attempt to keep it a Brexit-free zone, but it's very hard, especially with a show like this. The people that you met, the businesses that you met, the businessmen and women that keep this powerhouse running, what do they say about the 31st of October?
Well, I think, first of all, there's huge amounts of innovation and we have a global footprint. So if there's time to adjust, there will be some adjustment. The second thing is, if we have a smooth Brexit and there's a deal, and the Prime Minister was talking about a deal today, that means we keep things as they are for a few more years while we work things out. But if there isn't a deal and we just crash out on the 31st of October, at that point, suddenly the tariffs come in, there's checks at the borders, and the trouble is, if you are delayed by a couple of minutes in a lorry coming through Dover, there are so many coming through, that adds up to hours of delays on the roads. And the problem is that if you're talking about live langoustines going in trucks to Spain, or you're talking about fresh produce coming in, if there's delays, shortages, prices go up. That's much tougher. So I think, it puts into context all those businesses saying, we're worried about no deal.
Are you glad to be out of it?
It's hard at the moment, I think, for everybody in there. It's a very frustrating time for the population, but I think also the MPs aren't having a good time either, because I think they want to find a way forward. And
what did you think when you watched the debate last Wednesday, when it just descended into a bear pit?
Well, I mean, I came home late that night to find out what had happened and looked at some clips, and but I came home to find our daughter and son were very upset about it, and that was actually the thing I remember most. It was almost their kind of very emotional reaction to it, which took me aback.
Well, she tweeted.
She did, I know. It's a funny thing, we spent all of our political lives making sure our children are never in the news, no photos. Ellie's now 20, and she just decided that she wanted to say something, like lots of MPs Yvette has had lots of threats and lots of people arrested for... There was somebody last week for another death threat. And so I think the combination of the children knowing that and seeing the security, which all MPs have now, alongside all this language, which was so confrontational and angry...
Well, your daughter said
she's
she's scared every single day for her mum's safety. And Yvette Cooper, we know, Labour MP. And so that's, you know, that's your daughter scared. How does Yvette feel about it all?
Well, I think she's scared too. Nobody knows if it's on the internet, a lone wolf, but then you're having people whose windows are being broken, their offices attacked, and it just feels as though things have got out of control. It's legitimate for people to have disagreements. We should argue about things, but you don't have to do so in a way which is so, not just angry. I mean, it's venomous, some of the things which are happening. And, you know, you sort of... I think what Ellie was saying in her article, which, as I said, rather took us aback, was that politicians have got to calm this down, starting at the top. We've got to find a way to bring people together and stop treating each other with civility rather than all this kind of violent language.
Does it ever make you think about returning to politics yourself?
Well, look, I think for people like me who were in and now on the outside, you feel a bit guilty. I feel guilty because I'm thinking, well, should I be doing something? But the reality is, you know, I lost my seat, I'm out. People on the inside are having a tough time.
Would you like to?
I don't think I want to be there at the moment. It's pretty awful, and I'm not, because I lost. I'm not going to say I would never want to go out back, because being in the cabinet was really hard, but actually very, very important, very fulfilling. But I don't think it's not going to happen. And you know, as we were talking about, I'm doing very different things now,
well,
and supporting Yvette, trying to do the right thing, as all these MPs are trying to do.
You've actually said that you're having the best midlife crisis ever.
I know, it started 10 years ago, and I've been curating it. I've done so, from Kilimanjaro, the marathon, you know, Strictly. It's, I think I always thought a midlife crisis would be a bad thing, but it's actually really fun. Having a great time.
Well, I mean, the figures were really good on your show last night, so, you know, there'll be a recommission there, that's for sure. Maybe it'll be British trade after Brexit.
Who knows?
What Britain buys and sells in a day is on Mondays at 9 on BBC Two. And thank you very much.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.